Aftermath of the deadly typhoon or destructive typhoon, historic floodwaters have destroyed remote communities across western Alaska, forcing hundreds of evacuations that could continue for days. Meteorologist Amy Metz joins us live now from Alaska with more on how the people there are recovering. Hey, Amy.
Thank you, John. Yes, I've been here going into shelters lately, mostly finding out what people need. And come to find out, a lot of them have been sick. A lot that had to leave their villages are eating foods that are not native to them. And as we're moving forward, some of the people that had stayed on the ground in the villages to try and help rescue the animals, they're also getting sick from all of the propane and all of the leaks and spills that are going on there with the toxins. So when we were there yesterday at a shelter, I happened to run into some people that were telling us exactly what they needed. They told us that they were forced to leave their homes in the early morning when they got knocks on their door. And they had one bag that they could bring with them. Sam ended up bringing things for his grandkids, clothes to stay warm, but nothing for himself was there. So we can hear from them and Sophie what they were asking.
They potentially lost everything in their house. You know, met them in the shelter, and the one thing that they're really looking for, tell them what you want out of your house.
What we want from our house is native foods and the berries that we gather the whole year, and some winter shoes and winter pants.
And Mr. Sam, what's the one thing that you would want? Some boots? Big one is boots. Anything you want to say to people out there?
Thank you for your help, and thank you for reaching out to any organizations to help in this situation. This is the first time that we've ever experienced in our life.
It's pretty bad, people.
So that was Josh Gill, incident commander for United Cajun Navy, alongside of those people who are now inside an Anchorage shelter. Last night stayed with family. They're one of the organizations here at United Cajun Navy, alongside Bethel Search and Rescue, that have been actively working to make sure that all of those individuals are getting exactly what they need. When it comes to the pets, Bethel Friends of Canines has been a nonprofit that stepped up on their own dime when the state wasn't giving them any funding to do so. They are air transporting animals from the villages hundreds of miles away into Anchorage, about $3,000 per flight. More than 100 of these animals have been put into shelters where they ran out of room yesterday, but more is developing on that, where we do look like they will be able to get the rest of them over here. So I will continue to bring updates on this and tell you what's going on here on the ground as I'm going into Bethel tomorrow and then close to the villages to help people with their longer term issues. One of those would be boarding up their homes for winter or getting their items out of the houses before winter falls. Coming right around the corner, the snowpack is going to be too high and it's going to be too cold and windy to do anything else there coming up in about a month. Back to you, John.
A reality that I, living in Florida, cannot even comprehend, and we don't always get a meteorologist or a reporter on the ground in Alaska, so we wanted to check in with Amy as she checks in with the folks there suffering from that typhoon. Great to see you, Amy. Thank you.